Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2021 film Tom and Jerry. This film was directed by Tim Story and stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Michael Pena. So this is a spoiler-free review here, but in case you guys haven't seen the movie yet, I'm just going to give a quick rundown of the plot, minus all of the spoilers obviously. So basically what happens is, you've got Tom and Jerry, and they move into a hotel, comic hijinks ensue, they try to stay in the hotel, whatnot, and then there's also this girl Kayla who's trying to fake being like this fancy hotel person, and she's working in the hotel, and basically Tom and Jerry fight, she gets involved. That's basically the whole premise here. It's not too complicated of a story. So when you go into this movie, I think it does a very good job of giving you exactly what you'd expect from a Tom and Jerry movie. Tom and Jerry are back to their classic rivalry, and it's pretty funny at times, I'll admit. Some of the gags were pretty good. It's just, overall, it's classic Tom and Jerry though, so if you grew up with Tom and Jerry, or this is your first time, I think everyone could enjoy that aspect of the movie. So overall, I feel like everything that has Tom and Jerry in it worked really well within the movie. Their rivalry worked well, their storyline worked well, everything about them worked well. However, the thing that didn't work well, for me at least, was the human characters. So there are several human characters in this film, the most notable of which are Chloe Grace Moretz's and Michael Pena's characters. However, almost all of them are pretty one-dimensional characters that don't have a lot to them. We do spend a lot of time with these human characters, probably, if I had to guess, even more time than we do with Tom and Jerry, and I think that's just not a great way to make a Tom and Jerry movie. And it wouldn't even be that bad if they were interesting, funny characters, but basically all of them, they're not very funny, their stories aren't very compelling, and we aren't really rooting for them to complete their goals and their missions throughout the movie. So really it's just, we've got some aspects with Tom and Jerry that I really like, I'm assuming a lot of people like, and then there's the human stuff, which to me at least was definitely a lot worse. Sure, they did have a couple good jokes here and there with the humans, but very rarely, and most of them actually came from one character, which was Mr. Dubrow. He was really the only character I actually found myself laughing at most of the time. Kayla and all the other main/side characters weren't very funny to me. So I did watch quite a lot of Tom and Jerry when I was a kid. I don't know exactly how much I watched, but I do remember I watched a lot of it as a kid. And from what I can remember at least, they did include a lot of iconic Tom and Jerry characters in this film, which I think was really well done. And overall, the animation fits pretty well into the real life world of the Tom and Jerry movie. It definitely fits a lot better than it did in the Looney Tunes movie and the Space Jam movie. I think of those three cartoons with real life elements, this is probably the one that does it the best in my opinion. I already touched on this briefly, but the actual plot of this movie is pretty lackluster in my opinion. Tom and Jerry typically didn't have great plots in their shows, but that's not the point. The point is their rivalry and seeing who's going to best each other within a current episode. We did get that again in this movie, but they tried to bloat the runtime basically to make it a full original movie. Was they added all the human characters and all their stories, and overall that plot with the wedding that the hotel has to plan, that's like the main problem that they have to deal with. I didn't find that very compelling whatsoever. In general, each of the different human characters, their storylines and their arcs felt very forced and even cringy at times, so I didn't really like that. However, I do understand that the humans and their storylines are not what this movie is supposed to be focusing on. The focus of this movie is Tom and Jerry. They're obviously the title characters. Their story is what's important here. However, I feel like it would have just fit better if they made like a 1-hour TV special or something, so they could focus on Tom and Jerry and not have the human characters as much. Just, they bloated the runtime. They didn't add much good to it. They just made it a full movie. Okay, so that's essentially all I have to say about this movie. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It wasn't a movie that I went in with high hopes. I was going in expecting basically exactly what I got in the end, so I can't really complain. I didn't expect to like the humans, and I did expect to get classic Tom and Jerry, which I did, so I will give the movie props for that. The movie doesn't try to be anything special. It does try to be something it's not by including more human characters than the original Tom and Jerry cartoon, taking the focus away from them. I've stressed this several times in this video already, not my favorite thing. But overall, when we were getting Tom and Jerry action, I thought it was very well done. It was funny. It was classic Tom and Jerry while also still being original, which I did enjoy. And overall, that part of the movie was very entertaining. So as we get to the rankings here, I will say that anything that had to do with Tom and Jerry, I really enjoyed. It was very entertaining. However, human stuff, not very entertaining, which is why I'm going to give this a decent but not great 7 out of 10 for entertainment value. The movie is definitely not well made in terms of quality, but it does do the job that it's supposed to do for the most part, so I'm going to give it a mediocre 5 out of 10 for quality of film, giving it a total overall rating of 6 out of 10. If you're looking for a fun, carefree movie to watch with your family that's not well made but is still interesting to watch, I would suggest this. If you were a fan of Tom and Jerry in the olden days, I would say that you'll like this film. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say here. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and you'll notice that I've updated several of the brands for NTD Films. I got a new logo, a new banner, new colors, everything like that. I really enjoy it. I think it looks really good. My friend Joseph from J. Workington Designs made it, so make sure you check out his Instagram to see some of his other designs. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check out my Instagram, ntd_films, for more updates. See you next time. Bye.